Hey, you! Yeah, you! Who else would I be talking to? Do you know any other yous in the area? Oh yeah, I'm also sick again, but don't sympathize for me, I'm fine. Remember when you were in school and you would go to the book fair? You do? Awesome! What's that? You actually don't? Let me just change that. When I was in school, one of the moments I looked forward to the most was getting the hell out of there! But book fairs were in a distant second. I always loved going and seeing all the awesome books on display. Growing up, I was a child that read a lot. I know, I was a nerd. I even have the glasses to prove it. But I was never very smart, so hopefully that canceled the nerdiness out. I always loved reading a good book, just something that would get your mind wandering, like, man, I wish I could have my skin eaten alive right now. I have a decent collection of books. Most of them are in my bathroom cabinet, though. I had the carpet replaced in my bedroom a few years ago, so I had to move everything out. And one of the bookcases broke when I moved it. There was supposed to be one right here, and I've been too cheap to buy a new one, so the books I cared about the most I threw onto the floor, and the rest went in here. But as you can see, I had a pretty okay collection. Lots of Dogman and Captain Underpants, though now I think these books are poor taste. Sorry, past me, but I just don't find fart or poop jokes funny anymore. Because they're not. Every Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I really should talk about these in their own episode someday, but there's 18 of them, so that would be a pretty long one. And tons of other series as well. So for those who don't know, did you even graduate high school? The book fair was a thing the school did like twice a year, where they would bring in a bunch of books, plop them in the library, at least in my school, and you would just walk in and buy them. It was basically like a mini Barnes & Noble, just from the discomfort of your own school. They had a bunch of other things too, like posters and these sticks with hands on them. Did anybody actually buy these? I know a lot of kids at my school liked the posters, but I never was a fan. Guys, this is a book fair, not a poster fair, which means you can only buy books. Oh, thanks, other kid, for saying that. Now I don't have to get beaten up. This was a great way to keep up with my favorite book series. Whenever a new release comes out, just buy it at the book fair. Simple. I kinda miss that, honestly, because now I have to go out of my way to purchase the books, and my parents could just buy them for me. I mean, I could ask my parents for money nowadays, and they would maybe say yes, but once you get older, that starts becoming more frowned upon, and is considered lazy. Yeah, well, so was the Minions movie. And today I just thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the books I got from there. Starting off was Doog. Every year, I would pick up the newest Doogman book that came out. I got all the way up to Brawl of the Wild before I got too high up in the grade levels that they stopped giving you these cool books. I just replaced them with War and Peace instead. But I enjoyed these books. I was never that big into graphic novels. These are pretty much the only ones I have experience with. These were pretty good. They were pretty much just rebranded Captain Underpants books, but with less words. But these were still alright books. They followed Doogman as he goes around the city to stop crime. There's this evil cat Petey who kinda turns nice, and he has a son. That's about all I know. 6 out of 10. We also have Ranger in Time. Yeah, everybody knows about Ranger in Time, right? No? Oh good, the simulation is still working. Ranger in Time was about this dog named Ranger, and in the first book, I guess he digs up this box that takes him to different time periods to help people. He hides it under his dog bed, and every once in a while it starts to vibrate. And when he puts it on, he gets taken to a famous disaster, like a snowstorm, or the eruption of Pompeii, or the sinking of the Titanic, stuff like that. He finds victims that he needs to help, he helps them, everybody else just dies, I guess. The last one I picked up was the Titanic one, so I don't know if the lore has been expanded upon, but these books were pretty good. Kinda basic, simple stories with a cute dog, but they had some charming character. 6 out of 10. Now we have Magic Treehouse. I used to be huge on the Magic Treehouse books. I literally read all 55 of them, and I own most of them. The Magic Treehouse series is about Jack and Annie who find this mysterious treehouse in the woods. When they go inside it, it takes them back in time to a random event in history, just like Ranger in Time. But these books came out before those ones did, so if anything, they're the copycats. Oh, but it's a cute doggy, Jack. I don't care. Then they try and stop something bad from happening, and they try and find their way back to the treehouse, and when they find it, they go home. The end. I don't really know why I liked these so much. I guess I just liked the characters and action-packed stories. I don't know what's the deal with the series now. The last numbered entry was 55, Dawn of the Dragon. For a while, they were remaking the older ones with a different cover and art style, but starting with the 29th one, they just gave up. And now they're just making new stories, but why did you start over with numbering them? Is it because you don't want kids to be intimidated by the number 112 on the cover? That's part of reading books, kids! They also had these Merlin mission books, which I guess were supposed to be more challenging reads for older kids, though I never noticed a difference between the two types of books except for the length. Apparently there was also a movie released in Japan. I haven't seen it because I don't live in Japan, but I do still love this series. It's what got me into reading, and if those studies are actually true, it made me way smarter. so they aren't true. Good series, just a little long, deal with it, 8 out of 10. And let's wrap it up with another one of my favorites, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Why do I still enjoy these books even though I'm not in school anymore? So, the Diary of a Wimpy Kid franchise follows Greg Heffley as he navigates his way through life. Each book is written to seem like a diary entry, thus the name. The pages are lined, and the text has this written look to it, and some of the pages have dates on them, which I like. They used to do the same thing with the covers. It looked like an actual diary cover, just with some middle schooler intervention. The logo was paint, and the pictures were all taped on, which I thought was pretty neat. But now all the newer books, starting with Wrecking Ball, have these unique custom designs, which I guess helps them stick out on the shelf more, makes more kids want to buy them, and I do appreciate Jeff Kinney branching out and being creative. But there was something so charming about the older, simpler designs, where each new book was just a new color. But yeah, like I was saying, these books are written from the perspective of Greg as he recounts the day's events for us. I really liked these books, and still do. I read the newest one, No Brainer, and this series still gives me a few chuckles. It's probably my favorite book series, if not tied with Magic Treehouse. Generally, the first 6 books are regarded as the best, and really good. 7 through 10 are decisive. I personally really like 7 and 10. Double Down is atrocious. It just feels like all the other books' table scraps. The Getaway was okay, but it was another road trip one. Meltdown was fine. Wrecking Ball was great, except for that stupid ending. Deep End was another road trip, and the more recent books have been a good return to form. Back when I started reading these books, I could relate to Greg because I was in middle school, and even though I'm not anymore, I still love these books. They remind me of my childhood. And they're just funny. I know the humor isn't for everyone, but I personally think they're hilarious. 9 out of 10. Go read them if you haven't. So there you go, just a quick look at the books I got in the book fair each year, specifically the series they were in. Like I said, the book fair was one of the highlights of the school year for me. I loved just having all these wonderful books right at my disposal and coming home with a big haul and spending the next 2 days reading through them all. Yeah, I'm a fast reader. And now that I'm done talking about you guys, back into the dark bathroom cabinet you go for eternity!